Here, everyone. Hi. Hello. It's me. Uh, I have miniatures now. I don't know what else to say about that. We got some. Um, I've never known what miniatures are or what they do or I don't know what they're about. I've always like skipped that section of the comic book store, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. Um, it just wasn't the place that was like where the action was when I was a kid. Definitely, it seemed like an older kids game, older people's game. When we were growing up, so that's why Yu-Gi-Oh was so much more accessible. Because you know, it was new on the scene at the time. Uh, but the I'm just learning about like all of this now. I like Gunpla a whole bunch. And that's kind of been my gateway drug for the jumping off point for verification of a better term. Um, it's been our jumping off point into this. Like I'm just so interested in painting and building things now, and doing so sustainably. Like that's kind of like been our goal like the whole time. That's why we invested in that spray thing that's going to be coming from Stuart Semple and getting a whole bunch of reusable materials to make this hobby not only as appealing on the eye for you as the viewer, but for me as a consumer, I have the the satisfaction of knowing that like I'm pursuing some of my hobbies and refining some of my skills in a way that's perhaps more sustainable in the future, and that makes me very happy. Almost like this guy makes me happy. Look at this. Sorry, I opened the box a little bit because I got so excited. Just giant robots. You know, it's kind of my demographic, right? This isn't surprising. This isn't surprising. You guys know this. So this is just sort of a like a plenary stream. This is a plenary stream. Um I'm deciding what I want to do here. Me and my younger brother Carl are going to be putting together some of the miniatures. I know that there is not like a intensive amount of planning because I've done kit bashes before on Gunpla, and I know what a a fairly intensive amount of modification, how much time consuming that can be. This isn't as time consuming, but there's some planning because you can't just put it together. They're not already pre painted. From my understanding, from sneaking at a peek at some of the boxes, these two, oh, I mean, just rail guns. Rail guns really do it for me. um, Sorry, I know someone somewhere is psychoanalyzing this, and they're going like, "This is in the LGBTQ category." Yep, that checks out. um, but I'm so excited for them because I didn't realize, this always seemed like the smelly guy hobby. I'm gonna be honest with you. In our local comic and hobby craft sort of scene. Excuse me. Hello, we have a marshmallow. There's a marshmallow here. Oh, too much. Where are you going? Why are you running away? Come here. Come on. Come on. I know why he's able to break in here because the towel is on the door, but it's drying. It's drying. It has to dry. In Arizona, we do this very magical thing where you can just like put up any wet piece of fabric on pretty much a door or any hanging surface, and it will dry in a matter of minutes to hours, depending on the time of year. Maybe even seconds. It could be we could be down to seconds with as hot as it is. I bet if you set up a clothesline like directly over some asphalt, that bad boy would dry clothes like a son of a gun. Um, so that's where we are. We're sort of planning now, because you get to choose like which weapons go on which characters. There's a slight amount of customization. To my knowledge, you can like swap like hands or sometimes even head units or weapons. Um, it seems like a lot of these things within certain archetypes. I think like the fire team weapons are perhaps interchangeable. Same thing with probably the battle suits. The weapons are interchangeable between the units. Like you could pick and choose which one of these, or if you had duplicates of each item, instead of having one of each, you could have three of whatever this is, or three of whatever heck that is, right? So on and so forth. So there is a fair amount of customization to be done, to be planned out, including, but not limited to, color scheme and like just the way that it looks. I don't know if we're gonna get too crazy with it. I think the general understanding is that we are going to f up. We're gonna f up some of these guys real bad. Because these are different. I did take out, so people that have been on the channel or that hang out with us on stream know that we do Gunpla, and I'm a big fan of Gunpla because that's kind of how the way I was able to explore the Gundam franchise and all of the cool stuff that it has extra to the novels and the manga and the shows. Look how chunky this is. This is thick, very thick, so thick. It's not like the sprues and the runners on a on a Gunpla model, where those are actually fairly thin. I mean, do I have one? Do I have one kind of here just to show someone? Yeah, here's a. This is like a runner from. I think this is from like one of the like the Night Gundam. Okay, but just look at the difference in terms of thickness that the runners are on. We can do a cross comparison right here. I'm sure this has been done literally 1 million times on stream for people, but you know what I mean? Like, we're just doing it for science here. Again, it's very thin, right? Got a lot of give to it. It's very pliant. This is extra chunky Campbell soup. It does have some pliancy because it is still plastic, but I think the thing is that the gates and the runners are much thicker, and so you got to use different tools. Is essentially where I'm landing at, because you can't use like your god hands, from my knowledge, because it's going to be too thick. I think this is how you f up your god hands. Now maybe I'm incorrect in that assumption, because the gates actually do appear to be pretty smooth or small, but I've heard several times not to use your Gunpla nippers on Warhammer models. So true or false, comments, chat. Is that correct? I would love to know. I need verification on that. But thank you. Like Night Gundam part, we'll put you back up. We absolutely are going to be finishing the Cerberus Night Gundam eventually. We really just need to get our paint booth up and running. That's kind of where we're at. on the paint booth. I'm just so fascinated by the aesthetic of these guys. There's an incredible amount of detail in each of the tiny parts, and that's actually very exciting for me because on Gunpla sometimes it sort of feels like you just get like broad surfaces to paint, but there's maybe not a lot of detail already baked in, and so you've got to do like a lot of scribing and panel lining and stuff like that. And while you do use panel liner on the Warhammer models, to my knowledge, you don't have to do any kind of additional scribing. Although it does seem like if you want to, like, go nuts, fam. I may make some extra bases with like my Omomaru, right? Is that what this stuff is called? I can't remember what you're called. Oyumaru. Yeah, Oyumaru. I may make some extra bases from that, from like some bright colors. Yo, I need you guys to just stay the heck out of the way though. So yeah, there's a fair amount of details on the models. It does seem like there's a small amount of maintenance that you need to do on them afterwards, with after clipping and sanding and making them smooth. And then I think everything kind of slots together, and then you seal it together with glue. Does that sound about right to everyone? That's my understanding of the way these models work. Excuse me, there's a Meow that wishes to escape. Nope, he doesn't wish to escape. He just actually, like, wants to jack up the Fry's food and drug grocery bag that's my trash can. Thanks, buddy. Well, had to take a sip there. My goodness, this guy he's crazy. He's insane. Let's take a look. Let's look at some directions now, just to get an idea. Now, what's also fascinating to me is that kind of what I always imagined I wish they would do with Gunpla, to my surprise, is what they do with the Warhammer 40k models. And now I understand why all the adults were always standing up over like the tables and crap over at the comic store. So I understand this now. It's a real life RTS, right? It's a real life RTS. You buy units, they have a point cost in the game, and you can paint them and modify them, and give them special point privileges and powers in game, or they give you special privileges or powers, abilities on the board. So yeah, I get it. I super get it. I'm really infatuated with this guy, the XV88 broadside battlesuit. He's very big. I believe these are shields, or they're drones. I'm sorry, and they come in different varieties. The drone units come in different varieties, and like, so this guy's got missiles, and this one looks like he's got like a laser and also missiles. I know that they have a shield variety also. Before assembling your miniatures, please read through the instructions in the booklet carefully. A pair of plastic cutters is required to remove the plastic components in this kit from their frame. We advise using a mold line scalping tool to clean up the parts. To assemble your model, you will need plastic glue. Games Workshop sells Citadel fine detail cutters, Citadel mold line remover, and Citadel plastic glue, but does not recommend these products for use by children under the age of 16 without adult supervision. Is that what it was? Whoa, that's crazy. Back there. Memouse playing with the yeah, so I guess these plastic snippers do seem a little bit more substantial than gunpla nippers, but maybe am I off base? I could be off base. Looks like the joints are relatively the same though, like hip joints, ball and socket on the legs. Not very many parts, right? Everything just kind of like snips and snaps onto each other. But it is good to know that like there's a fair amount of layering, so you know we could you know, separate this out by color scheme on this particular unit since he snaps together. Railgun's got a bunch of super cool parts on it too. Check out the railgun stuff here. Looks like we get different kinds of head configurations as well. My cat's freaking out back there. Yo, look, it's the John Woo. It's the John Woo broadside. He just jumps and shoots. Yeah, bullet time. He's got special bullet time powers. Activate my Commander John Woo. That would be a great Tau commander name, John Woo. Make it happen, please. He's my broadside double pistol commander, right? This thing's got a crazy amount of attachments onto it. I wouldn't be surprised if there were other like weapons or like things that you can either add or change, or at least change the aesthetic of on here. Yeah, here's the drones that we were talking about. You've got the MV8 missile drone, the MV1 gun drone. Yeah, look, he's the John Woo drone. The MV marker drone. I think this is the one that makes it so that you're more accurate. And the V4 shield drone. Shield drones are good, if I understand the game correctly. And then it's got stats and stuff too. So not only do you get a model to like put together and paint, but like in the game it does stuff. It's got movement ranges and attacks and abilities. Yeah. I don't know anything about the game itself though, so like I'm assuming that there are like it looks like the broadside does different things when it's controlled either by a different commander or perhaps a different faction of the Tau. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm super excited to like put them together, to paint, to kind of do something fun with my brother, even if it's just for a little while. Of course, since we have purchased these models, which was last week, he's now discovered like the I guess the Necron or whatever the undead variety of the undead miniature guys are, and now he's like, yeah, I'm gonna build those. So we may be diverging, but we're gonna paint some together for sure. It'll be a good time. It'll be a good time. Not likely doing any painting tonight. I honestly don't really have the energy for it tonight, but this is just, again, this is a plenary stream. We're kind of like eyeballing how much work is involved on each of these. Excuse me, sir. I need you to get back into the box. Just Get in there. I'm very excited. I mean, like, look at this. Look at this. I'm very tempted to copy like a yellowy mustardy desert sort of vibe. I'm a desert people. We could certainly try that. This is Carl's fire team. This is what he chose when we went to the store the other day. Um, and I think it was a pretty good deal. I wanted to suggest that he get the start collecting box, but it was more expensive than, of course, the fire team, even though it does contain fire warriors in it. But it's not like all the fire warriors. It's just like some fire warriors, right? Right? Because this is, you get a striker team, you get a strike team, and then you get a breacher team. Yeah, so it looks like it gives you a. Do you get a fire warrior strike team? Is that all you get, or do you get everybody? I feel like you get everybody, right? Like, let's match them up, okay? Actually, like breacher team, yeah, maybe you don't get the breacher team in the starter box. I see he's double pistoled up on a Sunday afternoon. So there's Carl's Fire Warriors. We have the broadside and we've got the Fire Warriors. I purchased on my first outing over at Imperial Outpost here in Phoenix, Arizona. I got this start collecting box, and then I got the Hammerhead gunship. And then on our second outing, just because I wanted to see what else there was, I got the broadside. I felt like that would be a good starting point of like having like something like big to paint, a bunch of smaller things to paint and work on, and maybe, let's be real, f up a little bit. maybe Carl's. Maybe we'll f up Carl's. No, we won't. We won't do that. That's not fair. we're that's the lesson that I'm trying to impart here is that I think we will. I think we're going to like not um like we're not going to have like perfect models at first, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. Um, I don't even know what I want to do for bases yet. Like, I've got like this like I almost want to do something like neutral that would look cool like in any sort of like background, like a digital like hexagon underneath kind of deal. Maybe like there like I know that there's like a tide wall and an energy wall component. Maybe like an energy uh like tile. You know what I mean? That could be kind of cool. Um, so the starting box is where I started because it seemed like I think it was the best value. I was looking up after it was suggested on stream that we get that we try this out. A lot of the people that watch the stream are in the UK, and they I guess Warhammer is a big thing. It's even a big thing here. I don't know why I don't know about it. I guess I just didn't know anybody, or like I was weirded out by it. But once Goat told me that like the Tau is what inspired supposedly allegedly the Protoss in StarCraft, like I was all in, especially after we got that giant bust of the carrier. I dig the floating drone platform on this guy. Very cool. I forget what these guys are called. The crisis suits. They're called crisis suits, apparently. V8 or XV8 crisis suits, and then an ethereal. What does it say on the back here? Dynamic and determined, the Tau Empire is a rising star of conquest upon the galaxy's eastern fringe. The Tau believe that there is no threat their incredible technologies cannot overcome, and they rely upon speed, discipline, and an overwhelming firepower to annihilate their enemies from afar. Is that true? I know lots of people like to think or say that it's a distance sort of archetype, but is that still true? Also interested in that. Very cool. Like I'm about it. I'm very about it. And then last is I got a Hammerhead gunship because again I thought the aesthetic of like the huge railgun and my elementary understanding of the game and the archetype is, you know, that they're like ranged. So I wanted something big because I've been building a lot of spaceships and stuff recently. And so this one felt right. It felt good. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Next stages, of course, are maybe doing some like very light planning and then like build time. So I think we're looking at probably like a build time, maybe this upcoming Sunday, maybe Saturday, but probably Sunday. Sometime in the afternoon, we can go through and build these up a little bit, decide which components are, you know, which arms are going on which torsos, etc. We do have a fair amount of paint that I'm really excited to test out. I've been building up our collection of Turbo Dork paint since last year, so we've got quite the collection. And I'm aching to try these out. Let me know what your thoughts are on a color scheme, because like that's where we're at. We are at that phase now of deciding some colors, of like getting in there. This is, and I'm gonna have to reshake all of these. We got a very cool shaker in the other day. Was really pogged up when that came in. I like sat on the ground for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours and just shook the S out of paint for outside. This is before it got a million degrees outside. I digress. So that's where we are. I'd love your input. For the sake of me, you, and everybody else, I would love it if you would join our inclusive little community, because together we can conquer the universe through the power of love and friendship. But it would be great to have a little community where we could maybe talk about minis and miniatures and painting and techniques and tips and tricks, and have that inclusive place where we can do it, and you know, nobody's gonna feel bad for asking questions, right? So I encourage you to do so. Make sure to click the links. If you like this kind of content, give us a like, perhaps even a follow. And with that, if no one else has told you that they love you, they care about you, I do. And with that, my name's Ro, and I gotta go.